Senator Hughes.
Thank you, Mr Acting Deputy President. Well, this might actually be the last time I rise in this place to speak about the NDIS, and I do acknowledge Senator Steele-John, the work that we have done over the past 6 years on the Joint Standing Committee for the NDIS, work that we have done through the Community Affairs Committee, and the work that we have done on every occasion in here demanding this information. And so I'm going to, with the Chamber's indulgence, the Chair's indulgence, to just go through what the lack of clarity means for families and means for families like mine. And I leave here in great trepidation of what will happen to the NDIS as the parent of a participant who's someone who actually needs this scheme to be sustainable, because when I'm no longer around, when his father is no longer around, my son will need lifelong supports. He has a significant, permanent, lifelong disability. And so I need it to be sustainable. And I am frightened beyond words that when I leave this place, that no one will care, that people will not care, because if the NDIS is not, you are not part of it, it's just something that's overblown. It's just something that's costing too much money. But if you or a loved one are relying on it to have a quality of life, this is one of the most important issues you and your family face. And so I had my son's plan meeting a couple of months ago. It took us over 3 weeks to get the new plan. His plan was due to expire when I sent a message to someone at the agency, hey, his plan expires tomorrow, I still haven't got the new one. What happens? And then it miraculously arrived that afternoon in the new PACE system. It arrived with a cut. So for everyone playing along at home, just know that it doesn't matter if you're the Joint Standing Committee Chair of the Joint Standing Committee on the NDIS, it doesn't matter if you're the Shadow Assistant Minister for the NDIS, it doesn't matter if you've been an advocate for your son for in excess of 13 years, an advocate in the space of children with profound autism. It doesn't matter how well you know the scheme and understand the scheme. Participants who need support, participants with permanent and significant and lifelong disabilities are having their supports cut. We were told by Minister Shorten there would not be cuts to plans. Well, that was a lie, because I can tell you my son's plan was cut. We had an incident yesterday at his special needs school that absolutely demonstrates why he needs the supports that the OT wrote into the report that cost me a lot of money to have done, that the CEO of the NDIA told us at estimates just a few weeks ago that they don't read the reports. So it was a waste of time, effort and money. And the person that is going to suffer the most from this is my son and his family, because of the impacts that these changes are going to have on him. Now, I will make it work. I'll make it work. I'll fund what I need to fund, do what I need to do to make it work, because I know how hard it is for families to go to the tribunal, to get appeals, to go through the review process. And I, quite frankly, just do not have, after 6 years of advocacy in this place and honestly hitting my head up against a brick wall, I don't have it in me to go to the tribunal. And it's not worth it. Like, the cut is not worth doing that. But what I do know as well is the millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars that are being spent on lawyers in fighting families who are not getting the supports that they need, for only 3% of cases to ever go to the tribunal or not settled in beforehand, giving these families exactly what they were asking for in the first place. And so the agency is spending millions upon millions upon millions of dollars to fight families who are not getting the supports that they need, to ultimately give them what they want on the steps of the tribunal. It is a disgrace. And when we talk about efficiencies, which is part of what this framework that we're looking at, how are they going to get to the growth? We're looking at efficiencies. So also, let me tell you, moving from the old system to the PACE system, something as simple as bank account details did not transfer over. So when I went to put in the first of Fred's claims for his new plan, the bank account details didn't transfer. Now, in the old system, you could just go in and update your bank details, change your bank details. No, no, no. Now you have to call the agency and speak to them. And they told me, we hope that works, try again in 24 hours. So if that is an efficiency move, I am speechless. So I am afraid what happens to this scheme when I leave. Senator Steele-John, you and I don't agree on everything, but we do agree on sustainability. We need this to be for the people it was intended to be for. We need it to support the families that need it the most, and there needs to be transparency and support for this vital scheme.